Dear students, welcome to another video tutorial on programming concept using C, and today's topic is flowchart implementation. This is a very important part. Before any C programming or any other programming, okay, this flowchart must be prepared, okay, so that it will be easier for the programmer to implement that C code. So myself Niladri Shekhar, I am working as an assistant professor at Computer Science and Engineering Department at Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management, JISP. The college is situated at Baroda. So what is flowchart? A flowchart is basically a blueprint that pictorially represents the algorithm and its steps. The steps of a flowchart do not have a specific size, okay, and shape. Rather, it is designed in different shapes and sizes. Okay, a flowchart is basically a diagrammatic representation of an algorithm. Okay, a flowchart can be helpful for both writing programs and explaining the programs to others. Programmers often use it as program planning to solve a problem. It makes use of symbols which are connected among them to indicate the flow of information and processing. Okay, so flowchart is basically a graphical representation of algorithm. Okay, so these are the benefits of flowchart. Number one is simply the logic. Okay, as it provides the pictorial representation of the steps, therefore it simplifies the logic and subsequent steps. The next one is makes communication better. Okay, because of having easily understandable pictorial logic and steps, it is a better and simpler way of representation. Effective analysis. Once the flowchart is prepared, it becomes very simple to analyze the problem in an effective way. Okay, and the next one is useful in coding. The flowchart also helps in coding process efficiently, as it gives direction on what to do, when to do, and where to do. Okay, so what are the benefits of flowchart? Number one is simple the logic, as it provides the pictorial representation of the steps. Therefore, it simplifies the logic and subsequent steps. The next one is makes communication better. That is because of having easily understandable pictorial logic and steps, it is a better and simple way of representation. The next one is effective analysis. Once the flowchart is prepared, it becomes very simple to analyze the problem in an effective way. The next one is useful in coding. The flowchart also helps in coding process efficiently, as it gives directions on what to do, when to do, and where to do. The next one is proper testing. Further, flowchart also helps in finding the errors, if there is any, in the program. Okay. The next one is applicable documentation. Last but not the least, a flowchart also helps in preparation of the proper documents once the codes are written. Okay. So this is required to helps preparing the proper documentation. So as you can see, these are the symbols, basic symbols in flowchart. Okay, this is the flow line. This indicates the flow of logic by connecting symbols. Okay, the next one is terminal. Okay, stop or start. We will use the symbol to start or stop the flowchart. So it represents the start and end of the flowchart. Next one is input and output. Okay. So this is used for input output operation. And the next one is processing. This is basically used for arithmetic operations and data manipulations. Okay. The next one is decision making. Okay, this is basically used for decision making. Okay, between two or more alternatives. Okay, so this is used for decision making. So this is the flowchart of addition of two numbers. This is the starting of start. Next, we have to declare two numbers. That is basically three variables. One is for two number, and one is for the result. So this is number one, this is number two, and this is sum. Next, we will take the input from the keyboard. That is why read num1 and num2. Okay. So after taking input, we will add the numbers. Okay, and after that we will display the sum. And next one is stop. Okay. So as you can see that this is basically output. Okay, this is basically output. This is a normal flow. Okay, that is processing. Okay, so this is processing, and this is also input, and here is also a processing. Okay, okay, and this is the start, and this is the end. Okay, so this is the end, and this is the start. Okay, so this is the addition of two numbers. Let's take another flowchart, and this is the largest of three numbers. Okay, this is the loop basically. At first we will have to take the three variables, then three variables will be read through keyboard, then there is the conditions. Okay, if whether a is greater than b or not, it may be true, it may be false. Okay, if it is true, then it will go here. If it is false, then it will go here. So there is another logic. If it is true, then something will happen. If it is false, then something will happen. Okay, so this is the largest of three numbers. Okay, suppose three numbers are, that is a is 5, b is 9, and c is 2. Okay, so the largest will be b. So at first all the variable have been taken through keyboard. Okay, so is a greater than b? A is greater than b? No, this will support. Okay, so this condition will come. Is b greater than c? Yes, this true will be satisfied. Okay, so this is the flowchart of three numbers. Okay, so next there is another. This is the flowchart to find the roots of a quadratic equation. Okay, so here we have seen that the variable has been declared. This is the processing. Okay, there is a logic. Okay, so if this logic is satisfied, then this will happen, otherwise this will happen. Okay, next is the display. Okay, the program has been stopped. This is the Fibonacci series. This is the start. This is the declaration of variables. Next, this is the basically input. Okay, and this is the condition. Okay, these are all the processing, and if it is false, it will be here, and if it is true, you can see that this one will happen. Okay, so this is the flowchart of Fibonacci series. Next, we will do a flowchart to check whether a number is odd or even. Okay, we will do it ourselves. Okay, I am showing you how to do it. Okay, so now we will make a flowchart of a C program. That is, the problem is to check whether a number is odd or even. So at first we will take a start button. Okay, this is start one. Okay, after that we will take the input values. This is the input values. Okay, the arrow. Now we will take the input values. Okay, so this is speed L. Okay, so we will take N. We will read N. Okay, we will take the input. Okay, so after that we will check that whether the logic is if n is divisible by 2, then okay, then we can say that it is an even number. If it is not divisible by 2, then we can say that it is an odd number. Okay, so we will take a logic. Okay, logic is taken using this. the amount. Okay, so the logic is if n mod 2. Okay, as you know that we used mod function. Okay, to okay to get the remainder. Okay, so if n mod 2 whether is equal to 0 or not. Okay, so it may be 0, it may not be 0. Okay, so it can be true, it can be false. Okay, so it can be true, you can say that it can be false. Okay, okay, so if it is false, then it is an odd number. Okay, and if it is true, it is an even number. Okay, so this is the output, and here is another output. Okay, so here print odd. Okay, so it will print odd and it will print even. Okay, next both the will closed. Okay, this is the stop. Okay, this is stop. There is an arrow from this side and there is an arrow from this side. Okay, so what is the logic? At first we will take start. Okay, after that we will read it. Okay, read the value of n. If n mod 2 is 0, okay, then we can see it is an even number. If n mod 2 is not 0, then we will say it is an odd number. So this is the end. So this is the starting and this is the end. This is the input and this is the logic. Okay, and this is the all flow. Okay, these are all the flow. Okay, so this is the flowchart of a program to check whether a number is odd or even. Okay, so this is very much important. Okay, so let's do another one. So now we'll do another flowchart. In this flowchart, we will check whether a number is prime or not. So what is the concept behind it is if a number is divisible by one or that number only, then we can say that the number is prime. Otherwise, it is not a prime number. Suppose 3 or 5, 7, these are all the prime numbers. Okay, as you can see that 5 is only divisible by 1 and 5. Okay, suppose 7. 7 is also is divisible by 1 and 7. 13. 13 is also divisible by 1 and 13. Okay, so if a number is only divisible by 1 and that number, then we can say that the number is a prime number. Okay, otherwise that is not a prime number. So what is the logic behind it? We will check. Suppose you have told me to check whether 15 is a prime number or not. So what is my concept? I will first check. As I know that 1 is divisible by every number. Okay, so I will start from 2. I will first check whether 2 is divisible by 15. Sorry, whether 15 is divisible by 2. No. Then I will check whether 15 is divisible by 3. Yes, 15 is divisible by 3. If 15 is divisible by 3, then we will not check whether 15 is divisible by 4 or 5. Okay, if 15 is divisible by any number, okay, then we can conclude that that number is not a prime number. Okay, so this is the logic. Okay, suppose in case of 25, 25 is divisible by 2, not. 25 is divisible by 3, not. 25 is divisible by 4, not. 25 is divisible by 5, yes. So it is not a prime number. Okay, so if a number is divisible by any number, then we can say that it is not a prime number. Okay, and we will start it from the number 2. Okay, and how long it will go? We may go up to the number less than -1. That is, if it is 15, we may check up to 14 if it is not divisible by any number before that. Okay, or it is better to say we can move up to 7, that is 15 by 2. Okay, as you know, the highest number that can be divisible divided by that to that number, that is the half of that. Okay, suppose 30, what is the maximum number that can be divisible? That is 15. And what is for 40? That is 20. Okay, this is how it will happen. Okay, so let's say the prime, whether the number is prime or not, the flowchart. Okay, so let's start. At first it will be start or begin. Okay, this is the start. Okay. Next we will take the value of n. Okay, n is the number basically. Okay, basically we will have to take two numbers. Okay, so we will take the input, take two variables, one is n and another one is k. Okay, we look at both. N is the number and k is basically for tracking purposes. Okay. Okay. So now we have to take the input of n. So now we'll take the input of n. Okay. The input is taken like this. So this is the read n. Okay. The value of n will be taken through keyboard. Okay. Next we will initialize the value of k as 2. This is a process. Okay. What is the value of k? The value of k will be 2. As we know that we will start dividing from 2. Okay, as 1 is divisible by all the numbers. Okay, next we will check a condition. Okay. So what is the condition? Whether the number is less than k or not. If the number, that is n, is less than k, okay, then the number is 1. Okay, and as we know that 1 is a prime number. Okay, so 1 is a prime number. So we have to check whether n is less than k or greater than k. Okay, so the condition is k less than n or not. Okay, if it is not less than, if this condition not supported, that means n is less than k. If n is less than k, then we can say that the value of n is 1. Okay, if the value of n is 1, then we can conclude that it is a prime number. Okay, so we can print that it is a prime number. Okay, so we can conclude that it is a prime number. Okay, so it is for, this is if the condition is no. Okay, so if the condition is no, we can say that it is a prime number. No means n is less than k. Here the condition was k less than n. Okay, so if it is condition is no means n is less than k. Okay, so it is a prime number. Next we will check whether what will happen if it condition support. That is for yes. Okay, the condition is yes. Okay, what will happen if it is yes? Then we'll check whether it is divisible by 2 or not, or divisible by k or not, rather. Just say, okay. There is another condition. So the condition is whether n is divisible by k or not. Okay, k is divisible by n is divisible by k or not. So it may be, there may be yes or there may be no. Okay, so there is a yes option, there is a no option. If it is yes, then it is not a prime number. Okay. If this condition supports means the number is divisible by any number. Okay, if any it is divisible by any number, then you can say that it is not a prime number. Okay, suppose it is not, this condition did not support. If this condition did not support, what we will do? Suppose the number is 15. Okay, we started, the value of k is at present 2. Okay, so the value of k is 2. Okay, so if we do n mod k equals to 0 condition, it will be, the result will be no, as 15 is not divisible by 2. Okay, so then what we will do? We will increment the value of k from 2 to 3. Okay, so the value of k will be incremented by 1. Okay, so the value of k will be incremented by 1. Okay, so the value of k will be k plus 1. Okay, the value of k will be k plus 1. Okay, so after implementing this, we will again check whether it is divisible by not. Okay, we will again check this condition. Okay, check this condition. Okay, so if it is 3, then again we will check. Okay, whether this is true or not. If it is yes, then we will again do this type of thing. Okay, so if it is prime or not prime, it can be. Okay, so after, at the end, there will be a stop function. Okay, so it will come here. This is a end. Okay, so there is, this is the end. Okay, so this is the end. So this is the start. At first we have taken two variables n and k. Okay, then we will take the lead end. Okay, that means we will take the variable. Okay, so at it is start. After that we took two variables n and k. Then we took the value of n through keyboard, and we initialize the value of k as 2. Okay, so next we will check whether k is divisible, k is less than n or not. Okay, if it is less than n, okay, if k is less than n, okay, then we will do one thing, and if k, it is not true, that means n is less than k. Okay, then we can conclude that it is a prime number. Okay, so as the value of k is 2, if n is less than k, then obviously the value of n is 1, and as we know that 1 is a prime number. Suppose this condition satisfies, that is n is greater than k, then what we will do? We will divide n by k. Okay, if it is 0 remainder, then we can say that it is not a prime number because it is divisible by any number. Okay, Suppose it is not divisible by k, then what we will do? Suppose the number is 15, it is not divisible by 2, then what we will do? We will check whether it is divisible by 3 or not. So the value of k will increase from 2 to 3. Okay. So this is the k equal to k plus 1. Okay. So again we will check. Okay. So after printing prime and not prime, it will go to the stop button. Okay. So this is the program flowchart for the number to check whether it is prime or not. Okay. So, okay. And these are the start button, start part. This is the processing. Okay. This is for input output. This is also processing. This is the condition. This is also a input output. This is output. This is start or stop. This is also processing. This is logical. Okay. This is the flowchart. Okay. The grammatic representation of any problem. Okay. So there is another flowchart. Okay. So in this flowchart, what we will do? We will check whether, or we will find the sum of the digits of a number. That means, suppose the number is 143. Okay. So what we will do? We will add 1 plus 4 plus 3. Okay. So for this we will have to. There is a condition. Okay. That is what is. So the logic is we have to somehow find the numbers. Okay. That is from 143 we have to find out 3. Okay. So how it is possible? If we divide or if we mod 143 by 10, we will get 3. So from 143 we get 3. Somehow we will have to find out 4. So how we will get 4? We have to divide 143 by 10. If we divide it by 10, we will get 14. If we do the same thing on 14, that is mod 10, then we will get 4. Similarly, we can get do the same thing with 14. Okay. So this is how we can find out the sum of the digits of a number. Let's do it. So at first we'll start. So this is the start. We have to take few variables. Okay. So the variables are, suppose, input and take variable. It is better to here take variable is the n, sum, and I and a. Okay. Yeah, we took 4 variables. Okay. Next we have to take input n. This is the input output sign. Okay. So read n. Okay. Next we will initialize the value of sum as 0. Okay, we will initialize the value of sum as 0. Okay. So next the condition will start. What is the condition? The condition is while we will do it up to n not equals to 0. So while, or we rather we say n not equal 0. Okay. Okay. So what we will do of n not equal 0? It may be no. Okay. Okay. This is no. Okay. And if it is yes, what we will do? If it is yes, what we will do? n is not greater than 0. Okay, what we will do, we will find out the value of a. Okay, what is a? A will be n mod 10. Okay, so after that what we will do, we will sum will be sum plus a. Okay, after that what we will do, n will be divided n by 10. Okay, so this condition will continue until n is not equal to 0. So if it is happen, then what will we do? We will just print the value of, we will just print the value of sum. Okay, print the value of sum. Okay, after that this is the stop. Okay, so what is the logic? At first we will take start. Okay, this is, then we will take variables n, sum, I and a. I is not required here. Okay, so I am deleting I. Okay, so I is not required. It's okay. Then we will take read n. Okay, the value of n will be taken, that is the number will be taken. Okay, next we will initialize the value of sum as 0. Okay, after that we will check whether n is 0 or not. If n is not equals to 0, then what we will do, we will find out a equals to n mod 10. Okay, suppose after that we will do, what we will do, sum equal to sum plus a. Okay, suppose, then after that the value of n will be divided by 10. Okay, suppose the number is 143. Okay, so 143 is 10, so that is not equal 0, so this yes will go. So what will be the value? A is n mod 10, that is a will store 3, and what will be the value of sum? Sum will be sum equal to sum plus a, that means 0 plus 3, that is 3, and after that the value of n will be n by 10. Okay, so the new value of n will be 143 by 10, that is 40. So again it will go here. As we know that 143 is not, 14 is not equals to 0, so this will come again. So 14 divided by 10 will be 4. Okay, so sum will be, previous sum was 3, so 3 plus 4 is 7, and again n equals to n by 10, so new 10 will be 14 by 10, so new 10 will be 1. Okay, so it will go once again here. So 1 is not equal to 0, it will come once again here. Okay, so 1 mod 10 will be 1. Okay, so sum will be 7 plus 1, that is 8. Now n equal to n by 10. Okay, that means 1 by 10. 1 by 10 is 0. Okay, so it will come here. So n not equal 0, it will be no. Okay, so print, the sum will be print, and here is the stop. Okay, so the basic flowchart of this, to print the sum of the digits of a number. This is, start is basically the input output, this is the process, this is input output, this is basically starting. Okay, this is the processing, this is the input output diagram, this is also processing, this is the condition. Okay, these are all the processing, this is the output, and this is the stock. Okay, so this is all about the flowchart of sum of the digits of a number. So students, this is all about the flowchart. Okay, hope you have liked it. Okay, I'll request you to try it at home. Okay, if you have face any problem, you can write on the comment section, or if you have liked my video, you can subscribe my channel. Okay, or you can visit www.facebook.com/digitalclassroom and like my page to get all the details of my video tutorial. So students, thank you. See you on the next tutorial.